A unit is only as strong as the bonds that bind it together. Most clone units in the Grand Army of the Republic developed such bonds through shared experience and trauma, becoming stronger after each battle they survived. Most Star Wars fans are familiar with the Fighting 501st or even the 212th Attack Battalion, both of which suffered devastating losses since they were always on the front lines, but neither of them went through the terrible loss the 104th Wolfpack Battalion experienced. As many of us know, the Wolfpack was nearly wiped out in the Battle of Abrogado, but through its suffering, the Wolfpack developed the strongest bond of any unit in the GAR. In this video, we'll be sharing their story.
Attention, Sergeant on deck!
While Jedi Generals led most missions, their clone battalions did most of the actual groundwork. A battalion was composed of 4 companies, with a total of 576 clone troopers led by a Jedi and a clone commander. Each company was composed of 4 platoons, each with 4 squads of 9 troopers. While all clones were by nature identical, the Jedi encouraged freedom of expression and individuality in their men, leading to many battalions having their own distinctive armor, colors, symbols, practices, culture, and specialization. Some battalions, like the 212th, were focused on conducting rapid strikes on enemy targets, while others, like the 41st Scout Battalion, were focused on reconnaissance. There was further specialization within battalions, as certain squads were equipped for bomb defusal, aerial missions, intelligence gathering, or even sabotage. It wasn't uncommon for the Jedi to combine battalions to take down hard targets or separatist-occupied worlds. This tended to cause friction between different clone units, as they did not always agree on the best course of action, but their commanders usually kept them in line. The 104th Wolfpack Battalion was led by CT-3636, also known as Commander Wolf, and Jedi Master Plo Koon. The two of them led the 104th through numerous campaigns and missions, usually coming out on top. While often being assigned to rescue and relief missions, the men of the 104th earned the nickname Wolfpack because of how ferociously they fought and how they hunted their enemies as a team. In the early stages of the Clone Wars, their armor was distinguished by its maroon color and wolf markings. In the early days of the Clone Wars, the 104th were deployed on the planet Kormendi to retake the Nexus, a trading outpost floating over the planet's surface from Separatist control. Their mission was twofold: capture the outpost and rescue the hostage the Separatists were holding there. Wat Tambor, the foreman of the Techno Union, had taken the facility and its custodian Auclair hostage and was overconfident in the station's defense systems. Led by Plo Koon in a Jedi starfighter, the 104th scrambled ARC-170s to engage the enemy forces and provide cover for a stealth mission assigned to the Wolfpack. Commander Wolf, alongside Sinker, Comet, and Boost, secretly infiltrated the base with jetpacks while the dogfight ensued. Their mission was going smoothly until they accidentally triggered the base defenses and were ambushed by D1 series aerial battle droids. True to their name, they fought like wolves, destroyed all the droids, and eventually cornered Wat Tambor. Rather than accept defeat and surrender, Tambor chose to initiate the base's self-destruct sequence and escape. The Wolfpack successfully saved Auclair and were picked up by Plo Koon just as the base exploded. Commander Wolf expressed his disappointment that they had failed their mission to capture the base, but Plo Koon pointed out that he had saved the hostage and not lost any of his men. While this battle showed how the 104th could hold their own against the Seppies, they usually worked alongside other clone battalions. During the siege of Hsien, Commander Wolf, Captain Rex, and Commander Cody were separated from their Jedi generals by Count Dooku, and the men of the 104th found themselves fighting alongside the 501st and the 212th in the planet's jungles. The Wolfpack successfully rescued the Separatist hostages with the help of Boyle and Waxer from the 212th. However, as they were escaping, they found themselves surrounded by battle droids and a heated battle ensued. Commander Wolf saved Heta and Twitch of the 501st after they were hit by enemy fire. These events showcased the dedication the 104th had to their brothers regardless of what unit they were from. This spirit of cooperation continued throughout the war, as they would later rescue the 501st and 212th in the First Battle of Felucia. Tasked with hunting General Grievous, the 104th tracked the Separatist general to the Abrogado system with a fleet of Star Destroyers and found his new flagship, the Malevolence. As they tried to call for Republic reinforcements, they were hit by the Malevolence's main weapon, a massive ion cannon that rendered the entire fleet defenseless to turbo laser fire. Understanding the hopelessness of their situation, Plo Koon ordered a full evacuation and all the clones rushed to the escape pods. Plo Koon himself escaped in a pod with Wolf and 2 other clones. They watched in horror as the droids sent out pod hunters to kill any clone survivors. When the droids came for them, they exited the pod and destroyed the hunters. This battle was devastating. The 104th lost all but 3 of their members before the survivors were rescued by Anakin Skywalker and Ahsoka Tano. Wolf changed the battalion's color to a blue-grey to honor their fallen brothers, and the ranks of the 104th were later replenished with new recruits. Wolf made sure he instilled these shinies with the same ferocity, loyalty, and brotherhood the original Wolfpack possessed. The Battle of Abrogado was the fire from which the Phoenix rose, and the reborn 104th went on to fight in the Second Battle of Felucia. The Unity also conducted rescue and relief missions on Vanquor, Kadavo, and Aleen. The men of the 104th would adapt to any situation or environment thrown at them, even the coldest of assignments or the worst leadership. Sometime after the siege of Hsien, the 104th, along with Captain Ozul and the Jedi Masters Plo Koon, Tout, and Kit Fisto, were sent to the icy planet Khorm. Their mission was to secure the valuable Argosite mineral and free Kormai slave miners from Asajj Ventress and a local Kormai warlord. Donning cold assault gear, the 104th worked with the Devil Dogs from the 44th Special Operations Division, known for their ability to blow stuff up. The Republic was only able to deploy a small part of its forces before a planetary storm blocked any additional reinforcements. Supported by some ATTEs, the Jedi and clones advanced toward the Separatists. When their ATTE column was struck by cannon fire, Captain Ozul ordered the clones to scatter, but this only led to more troops getting picked off. Fortunately, the Jedi were able to rally their troops and push the droids back. After cleaning up all remaining droid resistance, they set up a command center to discuss their plan of attack. While Ozul suggested a full frontal attack, the Jedi shot the plan down and criticized him for not caring about his men. When they received word that the Separatists were able to land more reinforcements despite the storm, the Jedi realized there must have been a weather control station that was creating an artificial storm and that they had to destroy it. The group split up. Master Tout and Captain Ozul stayed to defend the base with the main force, while Masters Kit Fisto and Plo Koon took a small contingent of the 104th and Devil Dogs to take down the satellite dish. Ventress used this opportunity to launch an attack on the Republic base and killed Master Tout, meaning Ozul was now in charge. When the droids appeared to retreat, he commanded his troops to chase after them, even after Wolf argued that their orders were to defend the base. Many clones were killed when commando droids, buried under the snow, ambushed them, leading Ozul to surrender despite his clones warning him that the Separatists didn't take prisoners. When Ventress arrived, Ozul demanded that he be treated as a prisoner of war, but she started killing clones and threatening to make him next if he didn't reveal the other Jedi's whereabouts. Wolf told him to keep his mouth shut, but the coward Ozul spilled the beans. Ventress nearly killed him and his men anyway, but the Kormai warlord convinced her to keep them alive since he thought they would be useful later. Meanwhile, Ventress ambushed the Jedi and created an avalanche to bury the Republic forces, thinking they were already dead. She returned to the base unaware that the Jedi had survived under the snow by using the Force to make a protection bubble. At the same time, Wolf, Ozul, and a few clones commandeered a Separatist tank and escaped the facility, returning to their staging ground. Ozul tried to defend his betrayal of the Jedi to Wolf, saying he saved the clones' lives, but Wolf retorted that Ozul was just saving his own skin. When they re-emerged from the snow, the Jedi realized they had lost the explosives they were supposed to destroy the station with. The clones and the Kormai started to panic, but the Jedi reassured them, saying they just had to get creative. They eventually reached the weather station and turned the storm on the station itself, clearing the way for Republic reinforcements. While Ozul, thinking that the Jedi were dead, ordered bombers to attack the Separatist base, the cannons were loaded with Argosite, which took down many of the Republic's air support. Upon joining the battle, Kit Fisto rushed to take out the cannons while Plo Koon went to save the hostages. Furious, Ventress attempted to set the base to self-destruct, but Plo Koon used the force to knock the detonator from her hand. Before she could reach for it, Wolf destroyed the detonator with his blaster. Plo Koon called for Ventress to surrender, but she instead gouged out Wolf's eye with a lightsaber and escaped in the confusion. Despite losing a large number of troops because of Ozzel's incompetence, the 104th emerged victorious, and Wolf came out with a gnarly scar. So that's the story of the 104th Wolfpack Battalion and how they turned tragedy into triumph. Did you like this kind of video? Is there another battalion you want us to focus on next time? Make sure you put all your thoughts in the comment section below, and as always guys, thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video.